swirling around the butter. Yeah, I'll eat it. Put it up there. And I'm gonna get the pork ready as well. Here. So the butter's melted. Okay, so the butter's melted in both pans. I have my pork. Last time I tried this, my knife was too dull. So let's see if this is still the case. Sharpened it, be good. So I'm gonna open this up, and I have pork center loin chops. I just got thinly sliced ones so they cook evenly, and I like ones with a little bit of fat because I actually like to have fat in my diet because it's good for me. Even if it's pork fat, I prefer to have other stuff. I'm using the meat to spread around the butter. Just kind of weird, but whatever. Since mushrooms tend to absorb a lot of flavor, and so does cauliflower, I'm thinking I'm going to end up needing a whole lot of butter for this recipe. Because I like that amount of flavor in there. If that's not for you, you don't have to do this. But considering I have this much mushrooms and a ton of cauliflower, it's really going to absorb most of the flavor, and it can get really bland like that. So I'm actually going to pour this into a larger mixing bowl so that I can use this to blend up my carrots that I'm going to be using in this recipe. Try to manually with carrot. You can chop your carrots. This is just what I like to do. Nicely. I try to only flip these about once, so I wait till they're sort of browned on one side. But I'm gonna wait till I have some spice on it before I do that, or some seasoning, if not some spice. Ooh, gross! I just got some full of my cute shirt. Wah, wah, wah. This is why in real life I just cook in my pajamas, but for recording I don't. And then, oh, it's hot. It's burning me. Ah. That smells so good. I love the smell of garlic and butter. It's one of my favorite things to cook with, actually. It's looking a little bit browned. I think it's good enough to add some of our mushrooms. I'm only going to use half of what this is because and I'll freeze the rest. I have frozen mushrooms before. It's not the greatest thing, but it's also not the worst thing ever. So, put some salt in here. As you can see, that butter melts. Okay, so to know that the mushrooms are done, they need to be shrunk in size and to be smaller, and it's hard when they're already shredded to kind of tell. They should be cooked through, and if you taste them and they taste bad, you should probably continue to cook them. That's kind of the rule of thumb that I have with stuff. Taste it, and then you're good. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to take the bacon, and I'm going to slice it while that is cooking, and then in a little bit, I'm going to add the carrots to that mushroom mixture, along with the cauliflower and some egg. Right now, let's get the bacon ready. If you don't eat bacon, the reason why this is good in stir fry is it adds that salty, and of course the meat's good. Bacon has a very unique flavor. You're gonna be hard pressed to find a repeat for. I cut bacon in half, and then I cut them in like, I don't know, half-inch slices. So you can try as best as you can if you're vegetarian or vegan to just maybe add some salt and maybe some oil to kind of imitate that. I've never tried to imitate that. If you want to see me try any more vegetarian recipes, I could try that. James would not eat any of it at all, but...
Vegetarian?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm just going to keep chopping this up and kind of keep an eye out on those mushrooms. The mushrooms are being nicely cooked and tilting it to get some light in there, and you can kind of see it's absorbed a lot of that. And I'm actually going to let you know that this is on medium low, it's on 3. And this one is on about 4.5, 5. This one is a bigger burner, this one is smaller, so that kind of affects how well you cook things. I would say medium low. You don't want to overdo the mushrooms. And then if this gets kind of overcooked, it's okay because it's going to be chopped up into small pieces and then mixed with this. So it's really not going to hurt anything. I'm actually going to move the pork chops over a little bit and cook the carrots in here too. Because carrots, like I said before, take a little bit longer. And they can just cook in the fork pat, the little bit of butter that I put in there, and the fat from the pork. So you can make these as finely chopped or as chunky as you like. I like to have a little bit of chunk in mine. I don't know why, but it's just my preference. You can also use a tool to get these out. I like to cook with my hands. And then Cricket's cleaning the floor over there. If you don't have a jog, you should get one. It's a built-in vacuum. Here are a lot of... Add in the egg in the center. So I'm going to open up the center, kind of like you would see at a fancy restaurant. I'm just going to pop a teeny bit of butter. I'm going to break up the yolks a little bit. Push those mushrooms away. The yolk makes kind of a barrier. It's kind of cool, actually. The carrots here. And I'm going to push this over to the side so most of the heat is on the carrots so they can get nice and soft. So as you can see here, the eggs are pretty much done in here. I might have let them cook a little bit too long. That crunchy side of them being stuck to the bottom of the pan. A lot of water is essential to having a healthier diet. I'm opening this, by the way, and making it so that you don't have as much stomach issues. If you have, you know, intestinal problems, if you have bottom problems, it could be water's good. Water's good.
The human body is approximately 60% water.
And that is relevant because
Therefore, you are water.
so we need to replenish the water.
The majority of you is water. It's vital for every single function.
Thank you for sharing.
You're
And that's
welcome.
why we drink water. Just got this guy open, the water chestnuts. I'm draining both of them behind the sink here.
Just
So-
now you were in my spot.
They smell weird, but they taste good, so I'm going to totally do this. Alright. So I've got all the ingredients prepped. I'm going to add them to the big wok over there. Gonna check on the mushrooms some more. I don't know if it was a great idea to cook the eggs in there with them, but whatever. So, cauliflower. God, that's butter chestnuts. I'm gonna leave them big and chunky because that's kind of what I like. I'm gonna do half a can of bean sprouts. So I'm just kind of mixing the ingredients together, kind of getting them evenly dispersed. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit. And go. To me, that looks pretty dang done. Goodness. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna spritz it on this like 4 or 5 times. It's real gentle, and you can always add more. You just can't take any off. Same philosophy with makeup and a lot of other things. And then same thing with this. Alright guys, let's try an experiment. I hate cutting meat. I actually hate, like, my dad and James and my little brother, when I got trust and stuff, still cut the meat for me because I don't like cutting steak, I don't like cutting chicken, I don't care what it is, I like to chop it. So I'm going to try
You need a straight blade.
a straight blade. I didn't have a straight one. I'm going to try and shred it up in this guy. Might have overdone it a little. It's just as finely chopped as the, I don't know what you call it, the mushrooms. But it still tastes good, so it's not gonna hurt anything. So, I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.